think any company that is pivoted during this time, uh, hopefully they've thought about the long-term impact of the pivot. So there are short-term tactical things that you need to do to get by the pandemic. And then there are long-term changes to your business model that companies may have done. So I mentioned StoreHub earlier. Now, what StoreHub did is something that they can continue doing even post-pandemic. Same thing with Socash. But there were short-term things that companies had to do. For example, we have a company called Licious. Now, in the pandemic hit, they actually saw a tremendous increase in orders because now people were ordering groceries, ordering food, and in this case, meat and seafood, ordering it online because it is not safe to go to the supermarkets. Now, Licious had to expand their capacity to handle the larger volume. They also had to provide accommodation to all their factory workers. So to minimize the time that factory workers had to travel, to minimize the risk of infection. Now, when you do that, you've got to also think, I'm expanding all this new capacity. Will I have extra redundant capacity after the pandemic? So in parallel, you need to make sure that you build up your customer base and make it a long-term customer base. So even post-pandemic, they keep coming back. And that's what we've done at Licious. We've been very, very careful to make sure the customer experience does not change. Even though we've got 3x the volume, customers are still delighted. The quality of the product is still as good as it ever was, so that even post-pandemic, the customers keep coming back. So whatever changes you've made in the last 6 months, make sure they're long-term and make sure it's something you don't have to throw away once the pandemic is over.